it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome
What's
to
up,
Food
everybody?
Therapy.
Hello, hello, hello. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Excited, so excited. So, all right, now go live. Now I
Yep,
can.
yep,
So,
me
vote.
too. Hopefully. I'm just going to see. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to go
Oh,
live.
wait a minute. There I am.
There it is.
Okay. Okay, now I can share it. Okay. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I
We
just
are.
got to
Okay, now I can share it. Okay. Yeah.
hold on. Hold on. I'm in the wrong place. You keep talking. I know
Now
because
we're
you can
echoing.
hear
Yeah,
me.
we're echoing. We've got one viewer, but I think it's just Tyler, so we're good.
Hi,
Zippity
Tyler.
doo.
Oh,
Guys,
it's
we're
not letting
making.
me do. It's not letting me go to Siobhan's Spark Up community. Oh, I'll copy the link. Copy the link,
There you
and
go.
then I'll go to
Hey
then
guys,
I'll go to the
welcome.
Spark Up
All
community.
right, All right, here. So you're. Hey guys, welcome to Food Therapy. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be making paleo brownies today, and it's going to be
We are.
so fabulous. Yum, 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 yum. And you know
Yes,
what? I might
yes.
announce. You know what, Siobhan? I actually might announce my big news on Food Therapy. I'm
Oh.
still going to announce it officially to the world tomorrow. Um, but I think I'll do it to the show. But I'll wait. I'll wait a few minutes. So for
Oh
more
my
people to jump
gosh,
on.
this is so exciting. So if you're just
It
joining
is
us,
exciting.
Stephanie and I, well, Stephanie has some wonderful news that she's going to
Oh
share
yeah.
with us today. We're actually getting a sneak preview because she was going to share it tomorrow on her personal page.
Which
But
is still
I,
am.
yeah,
Yeah.
which am I hearing something? No,
No.
I thought my phone was talking back to me. So,
There we go.
so welcome everybody. This
Yeah.
I know
Welcome
we've said welcome
everybody.
3 times. This
Yeah.
is
This
this
is
is no,
Siobhan.
this is
Siobhan from the Spark Up Kitchen.
and Stephanie from De-FaRekin-Licious. And if you've seen
Yeah.
Stephanie's new logo, she makes it really easy to see the FaRekin in there. I love the bold
Yeah.
red that's
I do.
kind of,
I love that.
yeah,
And you know what's even more exciting is that Natalie, mine and Siobhan's business coach, is the one who helped me create and design that. And she
mm-hmm.
really does have an eye for that kind of thing because I was telling her that I want something where it's not de-freaking, it's not de-frickin', it's de-fa-rickin'. I want people to see and understand the emphasis on the fa-rickin' licious.
Yes.
And she just came up with that. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, so we're making my also De-FaRekin-Licious paleo brownies today, and they are wonderful. So we might as well, Siobhan, let's
I know. Well,
do it.
these are going to cook for these are going to cook for 20 minutes
Like
too. So,
13, 20 minutes. No, I think it's like,
oh,
oh, they are. Oh my God, you're right.
about 20,
We better
20
get
minutes.
started. Yeah,
20
20
minutes,
minutes.
that's okay. And the
Heck yeah.
ingredients here are really simple.
Really simple.
Almond butter,
Yes.
which Stephanie is pouring right now.
Yes. 1 cup of
Maple,
almond
yeah,
butter.
or organic maple syrup, 1 egg, ghee, vanilla, cocoa or cacao, and baking
Cacao,
soda.
cocoa powder or
Cacao,
cacao powder. Cacao is
cacao, yeah,
more of a like a considered an organic form, but cocoa
yes,
powder, and I'm using cocoa powder that I get from Trader Joe's, and that is
nice.
just just fine. Just
I'm
fine.
doing what you did. I am pouring. I know. I was talking to Graham last night.
Yeah.
So these don't have flour in them. And Graham's like, "Well,
Yes.
how are you making brownies without flour?" And I said, "Well, the same way lots of
Not
people bake without flour. You use
right. So
you
the
use other
consistency.
ingredients."
Yeah, the
Yeah.
consistency of the almond butter, the cacao powder, all of it together. And this is the biggest deal, guys, is that because there's no flour, like a normal all-purpose flour, you don't
Yeah.
have anything to create that bind of all of the ingredients. So it is imperative that when you make these, that you bake them immediately. And I'll tell you what, I've made the mistake of, oh, let me go ahead and mix all my ingredients and then
Yeah.
take the ingredients to so and so's place, etc., and then put it in the oven. And what happens is the oil and everything, the ghee and the oil separate
Right.
from the almond butter, and it causes them to be, crispy, but not in a good way because these are supposed to be
Right.
moist, chewy brownies, just like the one like Duncan Hines. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, the first time
Mm-hmm.
I made these, and I was like, oh my god, they tasted just like Duncan Hines to me. And I mean, and
I'm
Duncan Hines
sure.
really is. So
Yes, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
oh show.
So I've been having fun with, so as you know, Stephanie does the empowered conversations every week.
Yes.
And her guests are so amazing that after she interviews them, I basically hunt them down to say, "You're great. You're an
I
awesome
love
person, and I love what you're saying." And Carol Boston, who was with us last week for fish tacos, you may remember she was making
oh
her
god, it
drinks.
was oh god.
If you want to follow somebody, if you want to follow somebody who is not only a brilliant mindset coach, she calls herself the
Yes.
reframe queen, but she is hilarious, and
Very.
she has a craft cocktails with Carol on Wednesdays. Yesterday,
Uh-huh.
so I
We had so much
watched, and
fun, and that was on for like an hour and about 20 minutes, and I finally had to go because I'm like, I have all this
me,
stuff to do in preparation for my trip on Sunday,
yeah,
which I guess I could, tell everybody my big news, at least for those that are watching.
woo, yeah,
Um, but I'll give it another couple minutes for people to jump on.
sure, yeah, definitely for
Oh, here's
sure.
another thing, Siobhan. Here's another thing that's extremely, extremely very important. So mix all
Okay,
of your liquid ingredients and whisk them, stir them very, very
yes,
well
yeah,
until before putting your cocoa powder and baking soda in. I
yeah,
again have made the mistake of putting everything all in at the same time, and
yeah,
mixing it
oh
all up.
yeah.
And again, the consistency of the brownies is just not as moist. So I'm
That's
adding
right.
my vanilla here, 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah, I'm gonna add up all my stuff as well. So, Stephanie, I
Yeah.
was browsing around in your course the other day because you said you had made some
Oh,
changes. So I went in there, and
yes.
it just reminded me of how wonderful this course is. And the thing, and I know
Thank
I've
you.
said everything that I like about it so far, but
Hmm.
you really bring yourself to it, right? A lot of these courses, there's not a personal touch necessarily to it, but what
Right.
I love is that at the beginning, there's always something that you relate back to you, right? This is you from
Yes.
your experience. So whether it's
Absolutely.
every chapter, whether it's a little video or it's just a quote or it's a picture, but
Right.
I love it because it shows that this just isn't something that you got somebody else to create or that you got it from someone else.
Exactly.
Like this is actually from your own personal life and experience, and
Thank you.
that's what I really liked
Thank you,
about it.
Siobhan.
And the other thing I really like is the fact that you can make comments. Because I was
Yeah.
reading back through our comments.
Yeah.
Because when I bought Stephanie's
Hmm.
course, it was back in November
Hmm.
before we were friends and before this was even
Right. That
hatched.
is right. Yeah.
Yeah, I took the course and I was reading back on all the comments we made back and forth because you're very quick.
Uh-huh.
There's a whole comment area, like a discussion area, which is great because if you have any
Right.
questions, you can put the
Hmm.
questions right in the comments, and Stephanie
Right.
sees them and responds to them, and it's so
Absolutely.
funny some of my stuff that I was commenting on, but that's the beauty of your course as well,
Right.
and it was really there was a chapter there. First you want to establish your why. I think it was you want to establish your
Exactly.
why, and then it's how you feel about yourself. So I love the way that you set it up so that you're talking about yourself first.
Hmm.
You're not giving any suggestions or tips or
Mm-mm.
hints on
No.
anything. It's let's see
No.
where you are in your life right now. And,
Exactly.
and I loved it because you didn't, there's a later on down in the course a little bit, there was something about working out and exercise. And the more you exercise, the more you can exercise. And
Right. The
you
more
actually
you
give,
do, the more you can do.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
actually give suggestions on websites that people
right,
can go to for
right.
workouts, and yeah, I
Yeah,
never felt in the dark in that course. Like I never
right,
thought, what's she talking about? Where does she want me to go? What's she doing? Yeah,
right.
so I highly
Because
recommend.
thank you, Siobhan. I
You're
love the
welcome.
endorsement. Holy cow. Yeah. Um, it's funny because I know that, so many people, a gym is just not their place. It's
Yeah,
just not where they really can resonate with getting themselves motivated to exercise.
yeah,
So I make suggestions, and even, going past, maybe I didn't think of everything, but you're like, oh, but I'm really into doing this. And I know that I raise my heart rate and can be in better physical fitness if I do that, well, then do that. But it's about being consistent. But
that's
again,
right.
because you're not going to do the steps. You're not going to follow a carry through on the steps and the suggestions and the tools that I brought forth unless you first know why you want to even, I often tell the story of, a client who, you know, she couldn't say no to the donuts and the pastries in the office
Yeah,
every single morning.
yeah.
And because it was tied to a memory in childhood where they weren't allowed as children to have sweets.
Yeah,
She was always in denial and she had to sneak sweets. So while she knew she wanted to lose weight and be healthier,
yeah,
well, at the office, she couldn't say no. But when we went through the story, because we're talking, it's about your
yeah,
life. And
yeah,
we are everything, every experience. And she happened to bring that as we were just digging deep into why she couldn't say no to the donuts and the pastries at the office in the mornings.
mm,
They're not there every morning,
yeah,
but she's like, and when we talked about that childhood story, all of a sudden she's like, whoa. She no longer saw that subconscious reaction that caused her to not be able to say no. And she
right.
realized, ah, and no longer was that tied to an emotional response of lack as a kid. And she was able to say no to the pastries and the donuts.
It's amazing. I just gotta melt my butter here. I don't have ghee. I'm just gonna use butter.
Okay.
But
Okay. There.
you know, one of the ways we self sabotage ourselves is our intention and realizing the intentions behind the behaviors, because a lot of those
Hmm.
intentions
Exactly.
could be self. Oh, and for instance, like the donuts, but are you eating because you're hungry? So hunger is your intention, or are you eating to cover up an emotion? And that's an
Hmm.
intention. Yeah.
Hmm. And let me real quick say, guys, that course right now is 65% off.
Oh my
65%
gosh.
off. Yeah, and yeah, all you got to do is, and I'll provide a link to the course
Yeah.
at the end of. I'll provide a link. Right, like I said, I've noticed a couple more people have jumped on. My
Yeah.
course right now is 65% off. So I'll
That's
provide a link.
amazing.
When you go to checkout, you have in all caps the code welcome, welcome,
Yes.
and that will
Yes.
that will slash 65% off of the price of $497. And
Wow.
you know, think of how much you and your life are worth whatever dreams and goals and life aspirations you have,
Yeah.
and what could possibly be blocking you. I have blocks. I was talking to Siobhan earlier today about something that I felt was blocking me about a year ago, and then
Hmm.
steps that I took.
Yeah.
Now that's a non-issue. It doesn't mean that things don't still come up. But my point is that, are you living your best life? Are you living a life that you don't need to have a vacation from? How are you
Yeah.
creating a life that you don't need a vacation from?
Well, Stephanie, I'm sorry, but I just brought up your course here now because I wanted to share like some of the things. here, and I don't know what chapter I am in, but there's, who are you spending most of your time with? And the homework,
Yeah.
write down ideal and important qualities in a relationship that you want. Or, what does your ideal day look like? List some things that you
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy doing. Like I really found, and I've spoken before about not knowing who I was. I actually did a live video not too long ago. It was earlier this week about are you waiting for somebody to rescue you? And
Right.
when I was waiting for someone to rescue me many years ago, I had no idea who I was. Nobody was asking me those questions. And
Right.
and I have a friend now who is, I know she's not watching, and she does not know where she's going. Like she's just come off a serious illness, and she doesn't know kind of what her next step is, or
Right.
where she's going. And I would love to buy her the course, but I honestly don't know if she's in the mindset to take
Right.
it.
I
However,
could give this course away for free all day long.
yeah,
But if people
yeah,
aren't willing, because again, if you don't know your why, if you don't know what you want, if you don't, and it's like, why do I do Stephanie's course for free? Why do I do it for $1? Why do I do it for $10 billion? Because there's something that you're gonna like you're gonna gain in your
yeah.
life
Oh,
and
for
for yourself.
sure. For sure. And it just helps you answer those questions, and you get to
Yeah,
know yourself better. And that's
right.
the key. When you don't know yourself,
Hmm.
it's
Right.
really hard to figure out what you really want to do in life when you don't
Hmm.
know yourself, because you
Exactly.
end up like I have. You end up in the wrong job, in the wrong relationship, in the wrong city. There's so
Hmm.
many things that can go wrong when you
But
don't
you,
know yourself. And
right, but
there's
you know what,
also,
Siobhan? Not even that it's wrong, but it's part of the journey. It doesn't mean it might have been part of the journey, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay on that trajectory. You go to a different trajectory. Do you see
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
You,
yeah,
it's nothing's ever wrong. No choice you ever
no,
made was
no.
wrong. There's better choices, of course,
There are
but
better
those
choices, but I get what
choices.
you mean.
But when you
Yeah.
start on that path to better, deeper self awareness, self discovery, you
Yeah.
start to operate your life with intention and on purpose, which is everything that you and I talk about all the time on the show.
All the
Yeah, and
time.
I just wanted to say real quick, guys. Okay, so it's not the consistency of normal brownies either, but you spread it out, and I'm going to tell you right now, when you cook these and you eat them, they are
Rick
de-FaRekin-Licious.
and Licious. I know. I'm putting it
Uh,
in right now. I'm going to be licking the spatula for
yeah,
sure. Oh my goodness.
I know. It's really,
This
yeah.
this
Yeah, it's
is
you just
so,
spread it out. See, you just spread it out with a
yeah,
spatula. No big deal. And it was
yeah,
sticking to, and again,
yeah.
yeah, there's a little bit more work involved in making these, but not that much work.
There's
That
not
with the
any
keep
work
you from doing
involved.
something really good and healthy for yourself. You know,
Hmm.
this is
Now,
about delicious and healthy.
Stephanie, I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
You include some recipes in your course? I
Yes.
know
Yes.
I've got the De-FaRekin-Licious cookbook, but I don't know if
Right.
and I know that's going to be a separate thing that's going to be coming out. And oh my
Yes.
God, I got a sneak preview of the cookbook, and I am just so
Yeah.
impressed. And I know, there we
Yes.
go.
Oh,
We're
girl.
going in.
Yeah. All right.
We're
Going
going
in.
in.
So I would set the timer. It says 20 to 23. I would say 20, let's say 21.
Okay, there we go. Um,
All right.
I got to tell you, people, I don't know anybody who's done a cookbook. To be honest with you, I don't. But I
I'm very,
absolutely love the look, and like you said, and we talked about your book the other day, and you were saying that you
mm-hmm.
write how you talk, and we all
My
know
autobiography.
Stephanie's got that voice, and when you're reading the cookbook, I hear Stephanie, I do this and I put this much in and
Yeah,
I could just throw that in. And, it's so
right.
fun because it just adds a different element to it. And
Yeah.
I got to share with you, Steph, but just to get off the topic for a sec, I was talking with my friend Amy last night, and
Uh-huh.
she's she said she had no idea. She thought that we had known each other for a really long time. She said, "Oh my God, I thought you guys had been friends for years." And I said,
Yeah.
"Well, it kind of feels like we've been friends for years
It really
because
does, Siobhan.
we're so like I we talk on if we don't text every day, we're on the phone, and you know how
Yeah.
much people call each other
Yeah.
these days. Not a lot, but Stephanie and I like talk on the phone probably at least once or twice a week. Anyway, and
Yeah, I
yeah, so
FaceTimed
I think
her.
it's
Was it yesterday? When did
yes,
I
we
think I
talked
faced, was
yesterday.
it yesterday? Or yeah,
Yeah,
I was on the
yeah,
elliptical and I
yesterday you were
FaceTimed you.
coming
I
home
thought,
from the
let
gym,
me,
I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, I was on
yeah,
the elliptical and I FaceTimed you.
right. But then you left and went
Yeah.
to your car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
funny.
I got off the topic of your cookbook there, but when you release your autobiography, you're gonna do an audio book too, aren't you? Are you gonna read it?
I'm doing an audiobook of my autobiography.
Yeah.
I'm filming myself reading my autobiography.
Mm.
So you're going to be able to watch me on video reading
Oh my
what the fuck.
God, I love that
A
idea.
hilarious account of all the bullshit I've been through and
Yes,
other fabulous life happenings. But no, but we're
yes,
talking about that's a little bit down the road. But the
yeah.
cookbook, yes, I'm in the process of final edits, and there are several people actually who have copies of it. The original rough draft of my cookbook. But guys, you're going to be throwing that out because this is so much. It's updated. The pictures are updated. Some of the steps and ingredients are updated.
Hmm.
So you definitely want the new copy. But hey, but what I wanted to say, I did. I guess I might as well tell everybody my big news.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more people we're going to jump on. Maybe we'll have people watching a little bit later. But I'm flying to New York on Sunday, and I'm going to be a guest appearance on Clemenza Caserta, Chef Clemenza Caserta's show, Sunday Dinner with Clemenza. And I am on there as De-FaRekin-Licious. I'm going to be making my paleo pizza with
Oh,
Clemenza. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so damn excited about that. This is
oh
such an
my God.
honor to,
Yes.
to be on his show. His show is on Roku, on the DB&A network, if you have Roku, Amazon Prime, as well as Fire TV. Also, this
Amazon
Sunday
Prime is
dinner
what
with
we have up
Clemenza.
here.
Okay, Sunday dinner with Clemenza. So every day at 6 p.m., they're broadcasting his show live. They're all pre-recorded, but so I won't be live on Sunday on Clemenza's show, but it'll be
Oh,
recorded and then it'll be launched through a live streaming platform at a later date. My episode.
right.
So it's like
Oh
I
my.
said, it's a real big honor. And my second big, huge announcement is I'm starting a new food blog, like a travel food blog. I'm combining empowered conversations and De-FaRekin-Licious. And it's
Mm.
going to be called De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations.
Of course it
And
is. Of course it is.
yes, so I'm going to be starting it at Clemenza's. And so
Mm-hmm.
basically, like, so y'all, I love one of the best things that you can watch. I feel like there's so much education. You learn about the chefs, learn about different cultures, you learn about different foods. One of the best things, in my opinion, that you can watch are food documentaries, okay? Like
Yeah.
Chef's Table, like Ugly Delicious, like High on the Hog, Somebody Feed Phil. Most of these are through Netflix, but it's amazing what you learn with these personalities and some
Mm.
chefs that are traveling the world, traveling the state. And where I got the idea for De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations is I was watching Ugly Delicious Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner and David Chang was with Seth Rogen. And they were
Yes.
in Vancouver because that's where Seth Rogen is. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, I'm going to come to Vancouver. I'm going to I'm going to interview, walk around with Siobhan, walk around with Kim Bond, walk around with Tanya,
Yeah.
now Natalie,
Yeah.
and you take me to your favorite hot spots and we'll just be talking. We'll have conversation. Obviously, it's not going to be live. This is going to be an edited show.
Yeah.
And and not everything has to be food. You could take me to your favorite coffee shop or your favorite, let's see, something non-food related at all. Your favorite monument, museum, something, your favorite flower shop, your favorite OMG. We got to go down to the corner. You need to meet so and so. She's hilarious. Or obviously, we'll be going to Tanya's stand up, sit down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
guys, yeah.
Oh.
So I'm flying to New York on Sunday. I'm going to be on a guest on Clemenza's show, Sunday Dinner with Clemenza. I'm starting De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations, which is like a food travel blog type post, empowered conversation,
Yeah.
and some bullshit. Because, David Chang and Seth Rogen weren't necessarily having like deep,
No, no, and that's the thing.
yeah,
Like we don't like even when we do this show, we don't
yeah,
necessarily. And if our regular viewers have noticed, we don't want to be like so serious and mindset and life
right,
lessons like week after
right,
week
right,
after
right,
week. Because there's a
right.
whole, in case you haven't noticed, even by the look of us, there's a whole other side of us
Yeah, we're
that's
very, very, very
funny
goofy.
and easygoing, and we want that to reflect in the show as
Yes,
well. So not that we've taken a break from the serious conversations, but we haven't planned one. Normally when I say
right.
plan, it's just like, hey, you want to talk about this. But sometimes one of the best things come out is just going live and talking like we are, and
Hmm.
that's the thing.
Yeah, just
That's what
shooting
I
the
liked
shit.
about what about those that show that Seth Rogen was on, right? And I just live outside of Vancouver, but I knew where they were when they were walking around. And
Yeah,
Natalie lives in White Rock, and I live close to White Rock, and there's the Marine Drive, which is a strip right on the water, and it's restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. And I want to
mm,
take you to Uli's, and that's one of the most popular restaurants down there. And I don't know the chef personally, but he's in there 24/7. And if we told him who you are and what you're doing, oh my God, he would
yeah,
absolutely love it. And
yeah,
Tanya does live in Vancouver, so she's got a
yes,
line on all kinds of different restaurants.
exactly.
And Kim lives she just lives in another city that's like 5 minutes down the road. But because of where we are, we're each sort of in our own place that has
Hmm.
its own restaurants, and yeah, it's
And
so
your
exciting.
own like fun hot spot, or not necessarily a hot spot, fun spots, like your own things that mean something of so much value to you in your life that you'll be
Yes.
sharing with me. And I also forgot to mention, so also while I'm in New York, my girlfriend, my girlfriend Tina has moved to the
Yeah.
Bronx. So listen, so I'm not okay. I'm going to refrain from mentioning what she's doing because I don't, because that's going to be her
Yeah.
debut. But let me just
Yeah.
tell you that I'm also going to be going to the Bronx while I'm there, and I'm going to be doing an episode of De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations with her as we walk around Bronx, and she takes me, her and her friend who lives there, take me to different places. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so exciting. That is really so
it really
exciting.
is.
And while Stephanie's taking her cooking and going off in crazy directions, my laughter yoga has really been taking off as well. Yesterday, I booked four laughter yoga parties. So, and
OMG, girl, that is awesome.
people are catching on,
Oh,
right? They're realizing
I
the
love it.
power of laughter. And honestly, the fact that nobody's heard of it, when in fact there are 1,000 social laughter clubs across a
Yeah.
100 countries, the fact that no one in my community knows what it is and that I'm bringing it to them, it's just been an amazing journey with the laughter yoga since I started. And for me, because I'm doing it all the time. I got feedback yesterday from a regular laughter yoga person who comes to my class every Wednesday morning, and she said, and I noticed too. She says, I find myself laughing more at ridiculous things that I never would have found funny. And she said, it's not even that I necessarily find them funny, but I want to laugh more. And that's what I find too, is that I just want to laugh more at stupid things like like a mouse. Not really, but I could make mouse laughter. But that's the thing, is that as your body becomes more and more used to laughing, and the muscles are more engaged,
You're
and the
you're gonna be
endorphins too.
looking for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the endorphins, specifically serotonin, and the runner's high, endorphin, and
Yes.
serotonin. Yes, yeah, both of those get released
Serotonin,
during.
dopamine.
Yes, yeah,
So next week there will not be an episode of Food Therapy or
there
Empowered
will.
Conversations.
That's right.
But I will. Oh, and yes, tomorrow, guys, you've got to come on and watch Empowered Conversations.
Yeah.
Goddess
Okay.
Canella.
So who do you have on?
Oh my God, her name is Goddess Canella. She is fabulous. I met her. You remember Gina, the goddess queen witch, who
Yeah.
owns Craft and Conjure? I met
Yeah.
Goddess Canella through Gina.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was listening to a podcast because Goddess Canella, and Gina has a podcast. They both have podcasts, but Gina was basically on. I think it was Canella's, and they were in Curio Craft and Conjure. And I remember listening, and going, "OMG, I gotta have this girl on my show." And
Yeah.
she's been texting me. She goes, "Can I get on through my iPad?" I'm like, "I don't know. I hope so. But we'll figure it out." But then I'm on her show. Uh, it's when I come back from New York. I'm on her show, and golly, for the life of me, I can't think of what it is. I can go to Instagram. It's
You can't remember the name of her show?
most of it's sexual. Most of it's sexually related. Yeah, no, I'm drawing a blank. All about love. I think she's got a couple of different podcasts that she does, but I'm
Yeah.
coming on her podcast. And you were talking about Edna. I'm going on the Badass series. I'm on her podcast the 27th of this month. So
Nice.
tomorrow, guys, starts the full. I mean, not the full. The new moon. The new moon is
Yes.
when you want to write down your intentions for just write it down. Write
I gotta
down.
remember. I gotta remember to do that. That's tomorrow, right? Write down the
Yes. Nine
intentions. I'm gonna.
at 9:16 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Is when the new moon is here in this. Well, I don't know. That'd be not. I think it's still going to be 9:16, but you'll just be later in your, where you are. But I know that because you're about to come into something new, and that's where it's like you then can gain the insight, and you want to write down your intentions, write down what you want,
Mm,
write down what you want to manifest in your life. And hey,
yeah.
we had another, but anyway, so I had two people jumped on, and they jumped right off. They're like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to jump on." Yeah, that's cause, yeah, and I know why, because they want to go back and watch from the beginning.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Of
No, I mean,
course they do. Of course they do. Yes.
yeah, we got
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's
Seven
okay.
minutes.
That's okay. So, last week I conquered another. Well, actually, I wasn't afraid last week. So I've been doing motorcycle training, some more motorcycle training, because we're doing a big motorcycle trip in August. So it's about a
Hmm.
4,000 kilometer round trip around our province, and
Nice.
I've been wanting to do some training. And 2 years ago, a year ago, when my husband's a motorcycle instructor, so
I know.
he used to do all these classes, right? He used to have his own motorcycle, advanced motorcycle skills school called Roadcraft Academy. And when he would talk about these things, I would be so intimidated. He would talk about the
Yeah.
advanced course and what was going on, and I'd be like, oh my God. And he talked about these pit meadow track days. Now, in my head, I was picturing a track, around like a relay track, like just a track around a field.
Yeah.
So I was thinking we were just going to be going around and around and around in circles. No. So it turns out that it's this huge parking lot, and the cones are all set up so that you're actually, driving a road. So there's cones and markers where the corners are, and there's these huge turns. And so I was quite surprised, first of all, that we weren't just going around and around in a circle, because I never really thought that was really appealing. But I was going to do it because it was
Like
going to help me with
NASCAR.
my cornering, because we're going through a lot of mountain passes, right? And switchbacks and uphill and around corners. Like, I got to know what I'm doing. And
Hmm.
before I took the advanced course, I used my brakes on every turn. I used to take the power off of my motorcycle because I didn't know how to get around a corner without slowing down. And how many times did your parents slow down? So in my head, it's always
Oh yeah.
slow down. When in reality, there's got to be a little bit of speed when you go around a corner, especially coming out
Yeah,
of a
there
corner.
does.
You got
Yeah.
to have the speed on to
Hmm.
get out. And, talk about conquering limiting beliefs. I remember when I used to be afraid of cornering, and then I'm in the process of learning how to be an advanced motorcyclist. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So we went to the course on Sunday and did that on Sunday, which was great. I feel so confident. And Saturday, we're actually going up to visit friends of ours. They moved to, my local friends will know, Shuswap, right around, which is about 4.5 hours outside of Vancouver, over a mountain pass. But we're taking our motorcycles, so I'm really excited. It's kind of like a trial run, going through some mountains. I have done some mountain
That'll
riding
be
on my
fun. That'll
motorcycle.
be so much fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So, anything is possible. Anything is possible
Absolutely.
if you know yourself. And again, talk about getting to know yourself. um, you should release a page or something from your
From a
course or something
course.
like that,
Yeah.
just so people will know, like like what it looks like. And because there's so many courses out there, and I don't want yours to get
Well,
lost
when
in it.
I share the link, the actual how are you creating a life that you don't need a vacation from is the main picture. And then you
Yeah,
click on it, and then it's all about me and the course and what it's
yeah,
asking you questions of
yeah,
why you even want to take the course. And again, guys, it's right now 65% off. But what you do is when you check out, you put in the code all caps welcome,
yeah,
and then that takes 65% off of that $497 price. So make
yeah.
sure to do that. But yeah, but I really appreciate all the endorsement, Siobhan. Siobhan
Well,
obviously gained a lot of freaking value. But like what you were saying, I just wanted to speak to what you were saying earlier.
mm,
This is my life experience. I bring my life experience. I bring what I've learned and what I've taught myself, and that's what I want to empower others. I know
mhm.
what it's done for me in my life and the shit show I've experienced, the shit show that, certain pull out the rug from under me situations, but I've been able to persevere through.
Yeah,
And had I not taught myself and learned these tools, when I was in my early 20s, and then that's carried over throughout my entire life, so it really is, it's a lot of it just brings a lot of value, and it doesn't mean you're going to turn into me, but you're going to turn into the highest and the best version of
yes,
you
of yourself.
and of yourself, and at least it's going to put you on the trajectory, because my course ain't the end all be all, but no course is, no
No,
book is. You could read "You Are a Badass" by Jen Sincero about that, and that be the only book you ever read on self-awareness. But that you don't just stop there. You don't just go to the gym one time.
one time.
So,
I love
but
that.
you
Yeah,
start, but you start to realize, ooh, what else can I learn about
yeah,
myself? What
yeah.
else could I bring forth? What else do I have access to that I had no idea I even had access to?
That's
And I
right.
think that that's what my course brings a lot of that out.
Well, yeah,
But that's
exactly.
the
And
intention. That's the intention.
well, and I say the same thing. Like my ideal client are people who say, I need to get out of my own way. I want to get out of my own,
Yeah.
because I said that my entire life. But until I
Hmm.
actually did get out of my own way and see what that looked like, then I couldn't go forward. And it's
Right.
not like physically going, okay, I'm going to move out of my own way. It's a
Yeah.
mental, yeah,
Mental mindset.
it's a mental change,
Everything is
and
mindset.
finding out who you are and what makes you tick is so important
What
in
makes you unique?
what
What
makes
makes you
you
unique? What makes you special?
what makes you unique. Exactly. Stephanie and I, what makes me unique is I have cooking, coaching, and comedy and laughter. What makes Stephanie unique is that she's got conversations and comedy and ooh, look at that. Oh my
Cooking
goodness.
and mindset coaching. Oh my God, girl. Yeah.
Yes.
Guys.
Oh, now is this going to be ready? Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
stick
we can at least, yeah.
I'm going to
Uh-oh.
do it the old-fashioned way and take a toothpick and stick
Yeah.
it down in the middle. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Girl, I'm
So
telling you guys,
good.
these are amazing. These are amazing.
They really are. Are you cutting into yours already?
Yeah, I'm taking like a silicone spatula and
Yeah.
I'm just very gingerly.
Okay. Just sort of cutting?
Yeah, I mean, you could cut one and we
Oh,
got to eat at least one on camera.
well, of course I am. That's what I'm doing. Of
Yeah.
course we do. I
Guys,
didn't know
these are
you could.
so good.
Oh, my God. It's like butter. It's just like butter. As well, nobody I know used to say that. I say that. It's just like butter. But I think I'm going to have to, like, okay, I'm taking out a.
Yeah, yeah, or we could let them cool. But what I'm
Yeah, I
saying
know.
is you can eat them hot.
But look at that. Look, I've got it. I've got it just right now in front of the camera with the steam coming out of it. Look at that gorgeous thing, Steph.
And oh my God, Siobhan. Oh
I
my God,
know.
yours look thicker than mine. Did you double your recipe or did you have a
No,
smaller?
but you know what? I have a smaller pan. I have an 8x8 pan.
Okay.
And so
I
maybe
don't know. I
that's
think
it.
this
I
is a
think yours could
nine
be
by
a
something.
nine by something, but I did an 8 by something. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm just taking it right now. I've just got it in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
okay, 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 okay. This is probably the best brownie I've ever had. Do you have 2-bite brownies down there? The brownies that come in the brown bag. They're called 2-bite brownies. This tastes like a 2-bite brownie, but
Hmm.
so much cleaner than a
Oh
2-bite
yeah.
brownie. Like no additives, no preservatives, no
Nope.
nothing. They're gluten free.
Nope.
They're paleo. There's no dairy. Well, there's
Yeah.
an egg in there, but there's
Well,
no
that's not
dairy.
dairy. Egg is paleo. These are 100%
Yeah.
paleo. There is vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
There is organic maple syrup,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
ghee,
Yep.
almond butter,
Yep.
and cocoa powder, and a little bit of baking soda.
Yep. That's it.
Guys, these are undamn real. I'm telling you,
These
these are just
are
as good as
on.
Betty Crocker, Duncan Hines.
Ah, so good.
Oh my God.
Mm. And not too sweet.
Yeah, I know. God, these
No.
are good.
Oh my
You
God,
know what
yes.
I did? You know what I did last time? Forgot my damn egg
Oh.
because I was needing to take some pictures for my cookbook. And then
Yeah.
I go and I've already got everything mixed up. I've already got it in the oven. And I'm like, I forgot my eggs. They look the same, but it was not.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Yeah.
They didn't taste horrible, but they
Oh
were
my
not. I mean, the
God.
consistency. And I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. Always mix up your wet ingredients first.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really see
Yeah.
this. Always
And that
mix up the 4 wet ingredients first, and then after you've whisked that really well, that's when you add your cocoa powder and your baking soda. Also, always huge tip. Mix everything. After you've done that, put it in the oven immediately. Don't take them to a friend's already mixed. Oh, because the oil, everything separates,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
just not a good consistency.
Man, well, this is really delicious. I'm going to take pictures after and post them everywhere.
Oh my God.
I wanted to share with people. So we're not meeting next week. There's no food therapy next week. However, the week after that, we have another guest. So we mentioned her at the beginning of the show, Natalie Plummet and Thomas. If you do not know her, she is amazing. Go find her on Facebook. She is both of our business coach, not together. It's not like we have a business together. She does Stephanie separately and me separately.
Right.
And she's also a personal friend of mine. My coaching certification came from her academy, Think Yourself Academy. She is a world-renowned public speaker, and I think in like 20 years ago, no, not 20 years ago, no, not 20 years ago, like 15 years ago, she was Canada's #1 fitness instructor in Canada.
No, I didn't know that.
She is a hoot, and we're going to be doing 2 salads with her. So I'm really
Yes.
excited. That's in 2 weeks, everybody.
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
weeks, 2 freaking weeks,
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
So you're going to have to, again, I made my big, huge announcement, and I will continue to share that tomorrow
yeah.
about
Share it
what's
tomorrow
going
too. Yeah.
on. I'll put a link to my course. Remember, when checking out, put the
Yes.
code WELCOME so you get
Yeah.
that 65% off. I mean, that's not going to be there forever. I mean, I'm going to be taking that
Yeah.
down because I
Yeah.
mean, the reason I did the discount is because I just launched my website. And it was kind of like a
Yeah.
welcome to my website. Yeah, I am offer my courses, stuff, and
Check
all.
out her
You know,
website, De-FaRekin-Licious.com. Don't check out mine yet, because if you check out mine, it's going to say a work in progress. So don't check out mine, but check out Stephanie's.
yeah, hell to the yeah.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
joining us
showing
today.
up. Thank you for joining us. And hopefully there'll be some brownie left for when Graham gets.
Oh, I know. They're good. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Oh, they're
First
really
time I
good. I'm
made
glad
the first time I made them, like, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe. I was like, I'll try it. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
All right, guys. See y'all in
Bye.
2 weeks.